Well, good evening or early morning for people, and welcome to A Link to the Past Randomizer Season 5 playoffs. This is the Open League. We're into the second round. This is the first day of second round play. It started 12 minutes ago exactly. Um, we are kicking it off with a matchup between Aga's backup dancers and the Cabookey Hundo activist department. We've got Zephyr Bono for Aga's backup dancers and CJ for the Cabookey Hundo squad. It's the Courage Pennant, so we are playing casual boots. In terms of seeding, Chad, which will be our Cabookey Hundo, they were our 4-seed team in the conference, while Aga's backup dancers was the 5-seed. I am Radical Sniper 99, joined tonight by Norsk Maddie with Ike here on the tracking. Hello, Maddie.
Hello, Radical Sniper. Looking forward to this match.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of stake in it, but I will be a neutral party on this commentary today.
Yeah, so Aga's backup dancers, this is their second round of playoffs. As the 5-seed, they were not guaranteed a bye in the first round. They swept You Got Poutine on My Cheesesteak 3-0. Specifically, Zephyr taking down Jarek in Kaz Boots during that round. So now they are playing a division winner, in this case, Team Chad. So Chad was our winners of the Desert Palace division, finishing 10-4 in a 3-way tie with Crystal Roller Crew and Acai. But Chad taking the tiebreakers to get that that division title.
Yeah, we love tiebreakers, as it turns out. But yes, this is the opening match of the second round, and it is basically as early as was actually possible, because it started at 12:01 Eastern Time on Monday morning.
We do see 2 regular crystals at Hera and Eastern with a green pendant at Desert Palace. We will be going with Zephyr's audio the whole time. I believe Zephyr said they were using the TIMP MSU, whereas CJ audio will not be usable tonight. So apologies if you were hoping for his audio, but he's using one that is not approved for SG usage.
Yeah, we've got the Master Sword already. Didn't even have to kill anything before we got the Master Sword. Oh yeah, as always, we are going to do the full escape sequence here at the start of this casual boot seed.
I mean, isn't that everybody's favorite part of Kaz Boots, is a 5+ minute guaranteed escape?
Yeah, you don't have to think about it, I guess, later in the seed. You got to do it at the start of the seed, but it's not a decision point for anyone, I guess.
Maddie, you really are, you're just so excited. I can hear it in your voice right now about how enjoyable this is.
If you play Rando or NMG, you've done this sequence a lot, more than likely.
So relatively even so far. Usually a good escape time in this mode. We're talking closer to the 510 to 520 range is usually pretty good as we get the glove.
Yeah, that time can depend if you decide to try to kill some extra enemies so you get some bomb drops before you leave. Whether you do that or not, you don't really need to, especially with the boots. There's a guaranteed bomb outside of CAC if you really need that. In this case, we already got bombs, so we shouldn't really need to go get any more.
Yeah, I mean, by the time you usually get to CAC, you find bombs in this mode, but having that knowledge of that CAC bomb is always really nice. You know, you can usually grind out a couple there and you're set for your Kakariko needs.
Yeah, basically just to make sure that you don't go into Blind's Hut or drop into the well and don't have a bomb and have to come back with a bomb later. It's just that could be a bit of a time sink, and it's better to just grab a bomb before you do that.
So hopefully, you know, the interest, the intrigue of the mode picks up a little bit. It's always a little bit of a slow start with the Kaz boots. I will say, you know, the rest of this series is definitely going to shape up pretty nicely as well. I do believe, and you can correct me, Maddie, I believe you guys have all scheduled the other 2 games.
Yes, actually, we will have a pretty good idea where the series is at really quickly, because my teammate, the W. Garrison, will be playing Hitman tomorrow night, and then I will be playing Breadcoon on Tuesday night. So we'll have 3 games done by Tuesday. That's 3 days into this 2-week period.
And of course, there is our small key out of the Dark Cross.
Had to be there since we didn't get it earlier. As far as you know, intrigue, I do know that sometimes CJ has a somewhat unorthodox route in casual boots out of the start. So we'll see if he pulls that out today.
Yeah, I'm aware of his water walk setup out of Lost Woods that he likes to do every so often. So we'll see if he goes with that one tonight.
Yes, as Breadcoon put it in the chat, we are doing all the pendants in the order they are listed on the league website. That was not intentional, but it worked out that way.
So we had a 520 on CJ's side and about a 527 from Zephyr. Not bad times either way. Definitely boosted a little bit by our early Master Sword, but we are now out into the world.
Yeah, with getting bombs in Escape, sometimes people will just, you know, do a CAC skip, take those bombs, go to the South Shore, but neither one of them are doing that particular option this time.
I will say, nice early money, so no reason not to consider just going into CAC anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to make some unconventional plays, you could have climbed the mountain even.
That's right. We did. We got a glove in the Zelda cell, so we could have done that as well. I don't think I've ever seen.
Was that Mitz? It was Mitz. We
That
got
was
an Agaseed, folks. Guaranteed Agaseed. Okay, I gotta admit, these are some jams on Zephyr's side.
If you've never heard the Timp MSU, it's pretty good. Yeah.
And there are our boots, replaced with the green 20.
And the Timp MSU made by Timp, not surprisingly.
Yeah, a lot of original work, not actually truly based off of like a game or stuff. It's very much original to Timp. And this is going to be that setup we were talking about. Using that drop down right there to set up the water walk.
Yes. So yeah, we'll be doing some water walk checks before Kakariko here.
Yeah, CJ hoping for the bottle or the flute before he heads into CAC, so definitely a play he prefers to make in this mode. Can't say it's great or bad. It's, you know,
it's different.
It's rando. And I say that, and Zephyr finds a bottle in Blind's Hut.
Yeah, so even if, you know, CJ does find a bottle on one of these water checks, it won't give him any sort of advantage there.
And if the seed was not saying Aga enough, there is our cape already as well. But yeah, I mean, if we find an early lamp, I think I could not be shocked by seeing our runners just rush the Aga play to get those mitts.
Yeah, when you know that they're the mitts, I mean, there isn't too much reason to avoid it for too long once you get the ability to do it with the lamp.
Yeah, and as our trucker, like you're pointing out, CJ 10 rupees away from Zora money, and unfortunately hadn't grinded out any extra money before heading this way.
Yeah, he got 150 rupees in the waterfall cave, which probably did not expect to have happen.
And that's going to do it with those water checks.
And yeah, so those 10 rupees will mean that you will orphan Zora a little bit, at least for now.
Yeah, we'll see how Zephyr decides to approach this. We'll have enough money. And all that I said about getting maybe a bottle or flute early, Zephyr just showing Cack's the play.
It's already there.
Just go to Cack. So CJ gonna come in and make these same checks. But that's gonna clear out Cack for Zephyr. Gonna get library and race game.
Yeah, really just the flute. Oh, there's a hammer.
Ooh, this is... You know, we were talking about the idea of rushing Aga. What's to say the lamp's not in Dark World and this is just going to be a terrible lamp hunt?
That is, I mean, absolutely on the table now, because all we have to do is find the moon pearl.
Yeah.
And which, if it's not at on the pyramid, then we don't need to beat Aga for it.
Well, that raises the question, you know, speak of the devil, there's our moon pearl.
Okay, yeah, so now the whole Dark World is open, and that means that the lamp has a lot more places it could be before we can find it, perhaps, potentially. So you start thinking, at this point, perhaps, well, how good is my Dark Aga? Because what if I don't want to look?
I'm not thinking so much Dark Aga. I'm thinking Fire Rod Aga.
That
personally.
Too. If you find a Fire Rod, then yeah.
Like, in my opinion, that's what I'm looking for. If I can get that Fire Rod, I'll do Aga in this situation. You've got a bottle. You could easily get like an extra goo. Maybe take down Blind or something, or beat an easy dungeon, or bonk for the magic at the Dark World portal, or get that, you know, full magic from the mini Moldorms. I don't know. But yeah, if I can get Fire Rod, I'd probably rush Aga anyway.
Yeah, the nice thing about the Aga Tower Climb is most of the rooms have torches in them, so you can light them with the Fire Rod and get through it that way.
Yeah, you just have to know some of the placements. There's a couple of weird room placements between the dark maze and the pit room. Like, there's definitely a couple of spots that aren't ideal, but if you have a relative idea, you can hit them pretty easy. And CJ's actually going to check out the desert area and Agina first. Definitely one of those easier checks to put off.
Yeah, the flute gives you more mobility, so you know, right after this, you could just flute to 7 and do the dam into Mini Moldarm Cave that we just saw Zephyr do.
Well, and Zephyr's going to get this Zora check. And Agina's nothing. He's a heart on the Zora ledge, so not an important one tonight. And CJ about to get his Dark World access there. Oh, I don't know if CJ's going to get those silvers.
We may not see that. He doesn't need them, but it's certainly a nice item to have, especially this early in the seed. Helps with a few bosses and Ganon, obviously.
And it looks like we're going to get a VOO start from Zephyr. I'm more of a traditionalist with the height cave over, but not a terrible idea. I'm also kind of surprised we're not seeing Saha here into Eastern, but maybe hoping for Pod and Eastern joint clear. Although also picking up the full magic off the tree, so I really like that. I think it's a smart play. Pod is a pendant. We got a red crystal at Skull and Swamp, with Meyer being our other pendant.
Yeah, I was going to say that Eastern and Pod are both completable. You know, we don't have the mirror or mirror. We don't have the fire rod or lamp, but you can often get through it. It could be a couple of dark rooms can be a little tricky, but in this case, with Pod being a pendant, you might want to put it off just a little bit, or you go right to it. CJ is doing right now. Or maybe not.
I think he thought he was going to try to go do Pod, but finding out it's a pendant, he has changed his mind drastically.
Yeah, so taking the long way to Hype Cave.
I wonder if his thought originally was Saha and Eastern, and he kind of just had this odd change of heart or completely forgot about it, and like, why else would I flute to 5?
Yeah, I thought he had the mirror, forgot, I don't know.
Yeah. Hype Cave being relatively low value, I might give that a 2 or a 3, but we already had Cape, so not really much with that Burna pickup.
Yeah, Zephyr here in Thieves Town. This is another crystal dungeon that we can complete. And this one is fully in logic.
First of our medallion collection with the Ether medallion. We do need at least one medallion for this seed. And all that effort. Oh, wow. The fire rod for CJ at Dig Game. Nice find.
Yeah, now he can go over to VOO and he'll be able to get both Thieves and Skullwoods done at the same time, which is pretty handy.
Could also go straight for Aga. And I wonder if him going to the witch's hut is him thinking, I want an extra magic for Aga just in case. Or an extra magic for Skull. I don't know.
Not quite ready for Aga yet.
And that's a question of comfort. Like, there's definitely an advantage to be had here if you get those mitts. But I would say, you know, it seems like CJ is not tempting fate with this one. We'll see if Zephyr plays it a little differently.
CJ might be thinking, I don't get too much of an advantage by having the mitts as I clear Skullwoods and Thieves Town. The only thing you can do here with the mitts is, start the Smith chain items, and maybe he just wouldn't be interested in that anyway. And hoping to get like a few more hearts or something before taking on that that trip up there.
So far, nothing major out of Thieves here. Going to be at least a crystal for Zephyr, but unfortunately not going to be able to take down Skull. So CJ's going to have a little bit cleaner of a route here. Although I got to say that I think Zephyr did find Blue Mail in Vu, and that could be a nice little advantage for the Moth coming up.
Got grabbed by the hand there. But yeah, 6 hearts, Green Mail Moth. CJ does have Master Sword and Hammer, and did get that. And maybe that was part of the reason why he went and grabbed that blue potion, just to be sure.
And there is crystal number 1 on Zephyr's side. We're about to get the fire rod as well now. Maybe not totally happy about the fact that it's going to be there and unable to go right back to Skull, but not a terrible situation.
Yeah, I think it's an advantage for CJ, but it's not a huge one.
No. Unfortunately, unable to get off screen before the time is up. CJ unfortunately taking an extra hearted damage there before dropping it on the Moth here.
Yeah, I was waiting for the hand to drop down, and it took a little bit of time for it to show up.
But woof, nice fight there for CJ on the Moth, and gets the second item, the bug net. So going to be able to skip the front of Skullwoods completely here.
Yeah, so I expect CJ will go ahead and VOO and Thieves Town now. So the question will be, what does Zephyr do now, having completed Hype Cave and having a couple different options available to them?
Well, the one thing I will say is nobody checked Bumper Ledge yet. I'm guessing CJ's going to check it, but I don't think Zephyr checked out Bumper, and we've got a cape.
Yeah, they just didn't go up to Skull Woods at all, and so perhaps that's just on the docket for, you know, they got the Fire Rod, now they can complete Skull Woods, and that'll be something they do alongside that.
Pyramid giving us a heart container. Zephyr gonna pick that up. I don't hate it. You know, it's still early. Cow's Boots is always one of those modes you can kind of complete pretty quickly. So you never know how much health you'll be able to find by the end.
Yeah, you know, if it's a heart piece, maybe you leave it the whole heart container. Not that far away. Go pick that up.
And of course, everybody's second favorite fish, the catfish, up here in the northeast of Dark World. And what do we have? And oh, very much required. Those are our flippers. And that is a location that can stymie runners. I personally do not like the catfish, so we'll see how long it takes for CJ to get over there.
Yeah, especially considering how much we have available. That is something that he might put off. It's certainly something that I would probably put off.
Exactly.
That definitely looks like the answer to the question of what is Zephyr going to do right after finishing all that up is to go ahead and go back here with that Fire Rod and get the Skull Woods done.
Yeah, now I'm trying to think, like, what is our answer? Because, well, we've got all of Eastern.
Yeah, and pod. A lot of pod.
Yeah. And like I said, like, I don't know. I think at this point, you got to be thinking, like, just rush Aga. You know, you got to do it. So it's really a question, you know, do our runners feel comfortable with Fire Rod Aga? If one does, that could really provide an advantage.
Yeah, particularly if that lamp is buried somewhere in like a pendant dungeon or something that you aren't going to go to.
I mean, at least we know it can't be buried in, like, Turtle Rock.
That's true.
Small miracle.
Yeah, you know, the fact that it leads to the midst there does limit a bit of where it could possibly be. There's still a lot of options, but anything that's locked by the midst, Ice Palace, Mire, Turtle Rock, as you mentioned, all of those are off the table for a lamp location at least.
I mean, I'm just thinking, like, watch, you know, what if lamps in Swamp Palace and hookshots in Turtle Rock? Like, you know, there's still some gross possibilities for that lamp, and I would want to avoid them as much as possible here.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have I need to find lamp as part of my, you know, condition for go mode here. If I can get that Aga done with the Fire Rod.
Zephyr going to use that Fire Rod to great effect in this fight. Very nicely done. CJ taken on blind here. That'll be a second crystal for both of our runners. Zephyr still has an item left to get out of Skull. But still up those flippers and the silver arrows. Oh, and CJ still had a chest game and I believe brewery. And now I'm curious what Zephyr's play is going to be here because we're done with Skull. So is this a play to bumper? Because that's really the only item Zephyr can get here is to check bumper ledge.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I'm not a huge fan of the walk here, but I understand that, like, you want to know, oh, this... I'm concerned Zephyr did not count items.
They were both in the back, right?
Yeah, we had a heart piece under the bridge, and we had Bugnet at, on the Moth. So that's 2. We should be done. Definitely one of those little things that can really add up if, especially in a dungeon like this.
Hoping
this is almost a God Skull Woods layout. This is like a runner's dream to be able to have skipped to the front of Skull. And there's our mirror.
Oh yeah, if you just do Eastern, you've got the mirror for this.
Yeah.
Now, both runners have kind of left K45 a little bit alone. You can do that with the Smith chain eventually, I guess, but we go to Eastern first, and you could have done that along with the route down there through the South Dark World.
Imagine us saying that you should consider doing, Dark Aga with a fire rod and do Eastern with a fire or without any fire. Whew. Maddie, we are speaking about some crazy ideas here.
I would. You're right. We should really calm ourselves here. We're going too far.
So it's just unfortunate. Like, there's a lot smoother things that are possible here, and I think both runners, probably able to get through it. It's just unfortunate we're not going to be able to take advantage of those moments. And yep, heading back over to bumper ledge. So, I mean, the unfortunate part here is just the time spent on the checks on Skull.
Yeah, that always feels bad if you've ever done that, because it's just, oh, this is time that I just didn't have to give.
Yeah. And Zephyr heading into Dark World here for Pod, it appears.
Considering Zephyr's already done the Pyramid Ledge and Catfish, it has to be Pod. Oh, maybe Zephyr decided that was not what they wanted to do.
Of course, I'm aware that CJ has a slightly unconventional Armos quick kill strat. So if you're used to some NMG strats, you will not be seeing a typical NMG strat from him, but I can say it is actually a viable strategy that does work, and I know it works in locations outside of Eastern. So if you're in Randomizer and you're facing Armos in Mire, it works great apparently in that location.
A lot of these strategies, the best one is the one that you do well.
Exactly.
Even if it costs a second or two longer than the optimal strat, if you can pull it off, it's well.
I say that, and I jinxed him. I'm sorry, chat. That is crystal number 3 for CJ. Zephyr not too far behind on this play. Still up those flippers though, and that is, that's a big piece here. Now let's see what we get out of Sahasrahla. I gotta say, like, I know the mountain's tempting here, but more and more, I'm just saying, you gotta do Aga.
Well, I mean, I think especially if you're doing the mountain, you want to do that with the mitts and the mirror. You can get everything there except for Turtle Rock, unless we find the medallion we need and the King of Samaria up there. Yeah. And it looks like CJ is in fact doing the ag play now.
And I will say for CJ, like, if you're rooting for Cabookey here, what you want to see is after CJ takes down Aga, he continues this to Pyramid and to Catfish. And yes, otherwise, like, if he does that, he can get his flippers and his silvers.
Yeah, otherwise he might not do that for a pretty considerably long time.
Yeah.
And hopefully for him, the fact that he doesn't have Zora done already is a little bit more motivating for him to do that, because it's Catfish and Zora up there as opposed to just Catfish.
There's CJ hitting the torch in the maze here. He is not opposed to using his magic on this.
Yeah, these guards don't like you when you start shooting fire rods around.
Of course, Zephyr going to have a little bit easier of a time with the Armos fight. No worries about a quick kill or not a quick kill. Going to have just, 6 arrow shots and it's over. Unfortunately, CJ not hitting a torch there, so having to burn through that blue potion.
Yeah, Dark Aga is something you don't probably do very often. Yeah, I mean, usually when you need to do it, the game gives you the lamp. And CJ doesn't practice, so he would never do this outside of a race where it was required.
Yeah, I mean, I think the places you see it the most are usually like cross keys kind of plays, but a lot of standard, like, Kaz boots, standard modes, or just even regular old keys, like, it's less common for runners to really make this kind of play.
Particularly to go all the way through and not just stop there at that second chest in like a keys mode.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if it's CJ's favorite Cabookey.
Yeah.
Let's see what Zephyr's play is here. It's the mountain. So Zephyr definitely a little more on the side of wanting the lamp for Aga. This could be an advantage for CJ. This could also kind of set him on a dangerous path, depending on, you know, where the lamp is. So hopefully he does not reject catfish here.
Yeah, this might not work out for CJ if doing this and getting the myths incentivizes him to not go to catfish after this, because, like I said, he won't do that for a while probably because there'll be a lot that he can do, and eventually we'll need them. But it could be a while before he gets to them, and in the meantime, Zephyr could just find the lamp up here and be comfortable with going to Ag at that point.
Yeah, at this rate, it seems pretty likely that the lamp is going to be up here on the mountain. I mean, I think the only place left is likely going to be the front of Swamp Palace, and that's kind of hilariously bad. Like, that's just silly.
That would be bad, but not too bad for this game.
No. I mean, there's a possibility that the hookshot's here on the mountain and the lamps in Pyramid Fairy even. CJ is coming down the pyramid, gonna at least check the ledge. He's grabbing the container, but he's got that mirror out. That tells me catfish is off the table, unless... Yeah, catfish is off the table. He is mirroring to flute here.
And in a lot of ways, I can understand that. Because, yeah.
Unfortunately, CJ mirrored right inside of the gate, so he immediately went right back into Dark World.
Yeah, do you call that a bonk or just taking another mirror portal?
Mirror bonk feels appropriate, even if we wouldn't term it that way.
The result is the same.
Yeah. Yeah, for anybody unaware, after you kill Aga, that little gate of the castle becomes a portal back into Dark World, and he was pretty much standing right in it. So there's the mitts for CJ, and we'll see where he heads next. Maybe check out the Mire area. But even the Mire area is not great, because Mire and Desert are both pendants. But yeah, that's where he's going to head for now.
I think this is a, fairly typical, at least check Mirror Shed, maybe check Checkerboard Cave.
Yeah, we see that Quake is required for Mire, so we don't have that medallion yet. Hopefully we don't find it. And there's another 300 rupees. Like, at this point, CJ's well set up on the money front. Gotta hope that he's thinking Catfish Zora at some point. Like, it's unfortunate that those two checks are kind of just gonna sit there. And does that mean we've got an item in the basement of Hera? I was not keeping the closest track of the items we got there, but I did see a map or a compass in the big chest, so we'll see if... Yep, Zephyr's heading back in, so that tells us there's an item. And that's the thing, Zephyr avoiding the Aga is pretty much telling us that, this is doesn't want to go and do Dark Aga, and to avoid that, gonna be willing to go for this lamp as hard as possible.
I feel pretty safe in saying that at this point, yeah.
Yeah, as you were saying, like outside of maybe some keys or cross keys modes, like it's not too common to ever have to do Dark Aga or want to do Fire Rod Aga. I think the only other place I've done it is like multi. Oh,
That's another bad item location. It's a commonly skipped item there in the basement of Hera, and absolutely required red cane there.
Yeah. And CJ can get aggressive. It's one of his, you know, it's kind of the way he plays this game at times. And if he plays aggressive, this could be, you know, this is his blind spot in this race.
Yeah, so far Zephyr has been rewarded for the thoroughness and going and doing these checks that often get skipped.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking, what, 3 bad things? Like, Aga, at least you knew you needed, but now we know you need to do Hera Basement and Catfish. Those are 2 not great checks.
And particularly, again, this is CJ doing this at a time when he has a lot available.
I think the one thing that could really help CJ here is this need for a lamp. If it's a need on Zephyr's side, then, like, if it's in pod or something, like, forced pendant dives for Zephyr could really hurt. Never mind, there's a lamp.
Yeah, it just showed up right there in the mountain.
Yep. Everything I said off the table. This is good for Zephyr.
I mean, yeah, if looking for the lamp is kind of what caused Zephyr to look at Catfish and Hera Basement, then, you know, going and looking for it through all this was a benefit.
Yeah, and for CJ, like, what sends you to these checks? Like, in some ways, you know that you're locked out of TR, you're locked out of Ice and Swamp. But, like, for all we know right now, CJ's gonna get, like, if CJ gets to Kane here, this could be a fully clearable TR right now.
Yeah.
And he's leaving, though. That's unfortunate, folks.
That's that aggression.
Yeah, and it's understandable. Like, you know, a lot of people will tell you, like, this is the right call. It's unfortunately just not in this situation.
Yeah, and I think this is even worse than Catfish in terms of, you know, when do you go back for that? Like,
okay,
that's
so it is bombos.
That's a last location return, that to Hera Basement.
Yeah, like, if CJ gets the flippers, does he go into ice without Samaria? Like, these are the kinds of things that could pop up for him, and just our time that is, it's time that Zephyr claws back. You know, there is some efficiency that CJ has with the early mitts that is wasted, in a sense, just because of, like, not a mistake, just, you know, not going to be able to do anything with it. Of course, we'll see what's on DDM. We didn't get to see Super Bunny, and we'll see the bonk shot check. So we've still got 3 checks here on Death Mountain for CJ. We could also see Spike Cave, and honestly, like, one of the things you could say is, hey, I didn't find anything great on East Death Mountain. Maybe I go back and hit Hera. Maybe.
Yeah, certainly. Maybe.
It's a very viable strategy. I've seen a lot of runners employ saying, let me finish off the mountain and let that make my decision on Hera Basement. But nothing on Super Bunny.
I think other than the lamp, which doesn't, really do a lot for CJ, honestly, I don't think we found anything else here on this mountain other than the powder, I guess.
Okay, so is this... I'm curious to see, as we were, you and I were talking about this, Maddie, and we don't feel like CJ's been playing much. Does he have a hover in him?
Yeah. You give it one try. If it doesn't work, say, all right, you win this time game.
And he's heading back to Hera, so he might be getting that Samaria soon.
It could be Hera, it could be just Spike Cave.
The mirror tells me he's thinking Hera.
All right, so yeah.
And really, like, if he does Spike Cave right after this, you save and quit from there, he's on top of the pyramid again. There's a clear, easy path for him to get Catfish and Zora. Like, I don't know if he does it, but like, this is my instincts kind of taking over. As like, here's an option for you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is that it also gives you a clear path to Pod, which is, untouched so far.
Yeah,
and has a lot more items. Has a lot more items than Catfish Zora.
But there is the mitts for Zephyr, so we're all tied up in the crystal department, but Zephyr's getting a little bit of an advantage here. Maybe we see a play over to Ice Palace. Yup, here it goes.
Yeah, I would say the only thing that CJ got out of this, mountain trip with the mitts was the knowledge that we need bombos in order to get into TR, which is not a small thing.
No.
That could be important knowledge later. But yeah, he's going to start falling behind crystal-wise as Zephyr works through Ice Palace here.
Yeah, I mean, the only advantages here is the fact that CJ got to do the DDM checks and is gonna check Spike Cave. I will say, one of the things that's interesting here for CJ is the fact... Oh, no. Okay, he did have that extra blue. Is he thinking about running out of Spike Cave? No, okay.
No, I think
CJ could... The other thing CJ could do here is say, I've got the extra... Never mind. I was going to say, like, I've got no bottles. Maybe I want some magic. But I'm trying to give some kind of sense of logic here.
Yeah, not going to do. It's going to get the bottles though. It's not going to get it all the way to Catfish.
Where to, CJ? Is this Pod? Smith Chain, Desert, Flipperless Ice.
All right, I mean,
sure. I don't hate it. Like, it's a crystal. You got to do it. But you got to keep in mind, like, This is one of those things that's really dangerous. We talk about, like, if you've watched A Link to the Past randomizer race, like, one of the things we'll tell you is, as commentators, is logic is not important, except in this kind of situation. What you don't want to get into the habit of is forgetting what you did. You know, what are you doing out of logic? So if you get something here, don't let it push you somewhere else.
And you know, also I'll say, at this point, you know, what are we looking for? On CJ's side, he's looking for flippers, he's looking for hook shot, and he's looking for bombos, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, the flippers aren't going to be here, and the hook shot is nice, but it's not helpful until you have the flippers. So basically, I mean, the only thing that he can find here, you know, that would be helpful would be the bombos. Then if he finds that, he knows, hey, flippers aren't in TR, right? But you know, if he finds the hook shot, he still needs to find the flippers, and the hook shot isn't going to help him.
And that's my worry, is like, does he get hook shot and decide, I'm just going to go back up the mountain for hook shot cave? Nice little simple bomb jump there on Zephyr's side. I think besides that tempered sword, I don't think we've really seen anything important here.
Nope, that tempered sword is nice.
Yeah, especially with Cold Stare. Oh, and there's our book.
Well, now that CJ has done all the mountain stuff except for that ether tablet up there, there's a book.
Both runners are going to have to burn a blue potion on this fight.
Yeah, and given that you know, CJ was coming here, I understand why he went and picked up more potions before doing it.
But down goes Cold Stare on Zephyr's side. For crystal number 5, and CJ not far behind. Nice splashes on CJ's side for the kill, but good Cold Stare fights from both runners. And I'm curious what Zephyr's play is here.
Are we going to the swamp?
I hope not. I don't love the play. But I don't know if, like, Bombo's tablet? That's a play. But this could be swamp. This is aggressive. Wow, Zephyr going with the aggressive swamp call here. And yeah, I'm with our tracker Ike here. Like, at least check Bombos if you're going to make this. Like, you're going in without a hook. This is a scary play.
You'll feel really bad if you do this and then you go to Bombos tablet and the hookshot's there.
Or even K45.
Yeah, there's that too.
I'm just waiting for this, like, call of calls to be the right one. Like, I'm waiting for us to see hookshot right here in the bombable wall and just be like, Zephyr played us all.
Yeah, I mean, Zephyr's been making all the right calls today, so I wouldn't be terribly surprised if this one works out too.
Some days it's just your day. I mean, that is rando as CJ finds red mail on the Smith.
I mean, I'm a little surprised that neither one of them has even gone into pot at all. Just because, I mean, I know it's a pendant, but there's lots of memes about it. It does have a lot of items.
I think if I was going to do pot, I'd probably still hit desert first, just because I could turn in Saha first on my way into pod.
Yeah, that's true.
Something along with it, like desert's a pretty quick dungeon. Pod, you have a high investment at the start of pod because like that front is a lot of time, and that's going to be almost all keys.
Yeah, you really. I mean, if you do pod, you're going to be spending all the time there in pod probably doing that, and maybe you skip Helmazar.
But yeah, we're 2 items from no mode, folks. We need bombos and we need hookshot. CJ will, of course, also need those flippers off of Catfish. But those are the 2 items we're really looking for. Here goes CJ to turn on the purple chest and check bombos. He has no temptation to go into Swamp Palace, no flippers.
Yeah, even if he wanted to, he can't, so.
I mean, what we've seen so far is nothing out of Swamp. This could be a go-modable Swamp at the end. $50 on purple chest. And Bombo Sable is dead. So all those skips from Zephyr before heading to Swamp, not a problem. Where is CJ off to next? This looks like desert. Probably Cave 45 into it, at least. Or, sorry, Checkerboard Cave. Into Desert Palace. Or Desert first.
I believe that he did Checkerboard already when he came here and checked Mire Ship. Well, or did he not? I thought he did that.
He had the mirror when the first time into Mire area, you're right. And last check in Swamp is the big key. We're not done yet.
Going to make you waste a little more time unless this is like a vanilla hook shot.
I mean, if it's not vanilla hookshot, watch it be Bombos Medallion for hookshot in TR. Like, there's still some bad possibilities.
That's massive too, if that's the case.
And no, it's just 10 arrows. That is unfortunately an unproductive dip for Zephyr. Quite the gamble, just not paying off this time. As we have passed the hour mark, just a little reminder, this is the start of round 2 of the Open League playoffs for Link to Past Randomizer Season 5. Open League started a week before the Invitational League. So while the Invitational League is going to be starting to hit the end of its first round, Open League is starting to hit their second round. In terms of what is on the line, while Invitational is more about the pride and all that. Open League is playing, of course, for a spot in next season's Invitational League. Top 4 teams in the Open League playoffs will get invites next season. So at this point, you need to win 2 more series to make those conference finals.
Yeah, still a long way to go for every team involved here.
Yeah, every team is 6 wins away from Invitational next season.
He's
DJ having a little bit of an adventure here with the Landmo fire rod shots. He had a good lineup, and unfortunately, the second Landmo ate a fire rod shot, but does take Landmo down and gets just 20 bucks. So nothing important off of Desert, but we'll see if that green pendant turns out to be anything. And yeah, this is Zephyr's first trip into the Mire area, so looking to see if there's anything of importance. CJ probably going to head to pod area next.
You're probably doing there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Just doing like you were saying, getting the green pendant out of Desert before coming here, and going to be able to turn that in along the walk to pod here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, at this point, we know that like pod has to have something. Like the only thing we haven't seen from either runner outside of the pod area and green pendant turn in is going to be Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. So like both runners have not done that. So like there's a high likelihood that pod is the answer now, and it just sends CJ further from Catfish.
Yeah, probably the hook shot is probably better to find here for CJ than bombos, which will more than likely send him up to do TR. The hook shot, yeah, you could go to hook shot cave, but other than that, without the flipper, still can't get in the swamp, and just won't have very many options other than going to Catfish where those flippers are.
Yeah, really, like if you're CJ, the best case scenario is you find hookshot here and bombos, or bombos is in the back of swamp, and Quake's in GT. We do not want to see Quake.
No, yeah, the worst thing is Quake here, I think, for CJ.
Well, if Quake is here, at least like it probably is the answer for both of them.
That's true.
Like, that's not terrible. Anything that sends CJ into a fully clearable TR and further away, like if you get bombos here and Quake and hookshot are both in TR, like you do not want go mode in the path right now to further push CJ away from flippers. Like, I'll be honest, like the best case scenario here, or the best thing about this unfortunate like not hit from CJ, is at least a save and quit in Dark World puts him on Pyramid.
And yeah. If you I guess if you do, you don't have the hook shot. You can't go up towards Catfish and make a detour to King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge anyway. So.
And there is the Landmo kill for Zephyr. As we know, though, it at this point not required. I will say, given the big key location, I would have probably just gone straight for the Helma kill, but don't hate this play either into the back.
Yeah, myself, I tend to avoid a Helma kill if it's not the green pendant, if I can.
Yeah. Depends on if you're full clearing the dungeon. At this point, you're hoping not to have to.
You're thinking something's going to be in here, and
it's the hook shot.
It is the hook shot. And maybe also bombos. I mean, bombos could absolutely still be in here.
Yep. Oh, there's the Quake medallion.
Yeah, that. I mean, again, that's bombos ugly. Could be there, but yeah, it's not. I don't want to go there.
Zephyr's going to hit DDM here, so this is some time for CJ still. But, like, as you said, you know, that Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb, like, I think you gotta weigh your option here and say, Catfish, Zora, Graveyard, and King is so much better than Mire. Like, that's 4 checks over a slow 2.
Yeah, you might have to. I mean, you might have to.
This is a ped check.
I mean, he's gonna feel real bad if he finds out he needs to do ped having just left pod with not killing Elvisor, but. Could still be good knowledge if he knows that the in his perspective, flippers or bombos could be here. That's dead, though.
Yeah, that's a lot of bombs. What are we doing, CJ?
I don't know what this is.
Why are we going back for Helma now? Does he not know that that's bombs and not bombos?
I hope not. For his sake?
Yeah, for his sake, I'm hoping he's not. If I'm not mistaken, bombos text is usually something about a ring of fire.
I think you're right. It is not exactly 100% intuitive. The the pedestal hints.
Rossi also pointing out apparently Helmasaur does have an item, so could still work out in CJ's favor. Hopefully Bombos appears in his path, but either way, the big issue here is he needs to get to Quakefish, and I don't know what's going to send him there.
I mean, possibly he pulls like some bombs off the pedestal and realizes that that's not bombos. I do have to wonder, if you were going to kill Helpasaur for one item, why you would need to look at Ped and find out that it's that it's dead before going in and then going back and doing that Helmasaur kill.
Yeah, this tells me he's thinking this is bombos related. Like, that's the only thing I can think of right now. But he's probably going straight from here into Mire.
Yeah, and he did pull the mirror out, and I was wondering if he's going to skip the pendant the pendant pickup, because you know, if you don't need the pedestal, that pendant does nothing. But that did not happen.
The hard part is that there's also, like, when the pendant falls, you sometimes can't mirror out. Cutscenes get a little weird in this game.
Yeah, that's true. Now, it would be pretty funny, I guess, if Bombos is in Mire but not on Vidi, which could cause some confusion for a moment on CJ's part, if he really does think that the pedestal is Bombos.
Either way, like, if Bombos is here, it causes CJ to do another mountain climb.
Yes.
Either way, he still might do an extra mountain climb after this, because he'll have the hookshot and be like, well, I can do hookshot cave.
Right. Absolutely. At least if he does it with Bombos, you need to do TR. It's a little bit, you know, he'll take some extra time, another mountain climb. Don't save too much time by getting the Gomo TR, but you can save a little bit of time.
There's butter. Zephyr might not get that, depending on where this Bombos shows up. I don't know if Zephyr leaves with the hookshot. Has been very thorough on the clear so far. Would not shock me to see a full clear here. There was the hesitation, there was the thought, but deciding to stay in for now at least. Probably finishes clearing out the dark maze.
Yeah, I think that since you've already done all this, it doesn't take that much more time to do the rest of Pod minus Helmasaur. So I don't think it's a bad move to stick around and do this and then say, like, I'm done with Pod now, and then, you know, take that hook shot over to Swamp Palace.
And yeah, there's that moment of just, like, what do I do? Zephyr really thinking about that one. Like, do I want to kill Helma for an item?
Yeah, sometimes that could be a tough choice. It is.
There's the second item out of Mire. And the fact that CJ has not left tells me he's fully invested on Ped.
Absolutely believes that's the Bombos.
Yep. So, Maddie, team meeting after this?
I guess we need to, at least make sure we review the text for the pedestal and the tablets, right? I might do it myself.
Oh, this is important info for everybody. Definitely something a lot of people forget. And yeah, that hard hat really not playing nice. CJ going for the spooky, nicely done.
I mean, at least this will be a pretty quick Viddy kill with the gold sword.
Yeah.
Takes a long time to get to. And he's going to go pull that pedestal, I would have to assume, and get some pretty bad news.
Yeah, 10 bombs. Not the happiest find.
He's already got 10 bombs. He can't have any more.
Oh god.
Yeah, Zephyr does have a fairy or two in bottles.
Yeah.
So, wasn't quite in super danger mode.
Well, I mean, chat, you love to see it. Get your hype in for the pedestal pull coming on CJ's screen. We know it's for nothing, but you get to see a ped pull tonight. We are getting into all dungeons from CJ tonight. And oops, all dungeons at that. But nice Helma kill for Zephyr. And there you go, there's the 10 bombs. And it's all business for CJ.
He's gone. He's like, all right, well. I mean, what can you do? Yeah, you gotta move on, right?
Yep. Back to the mountain.
Yeah, and if I think Zephyr's going to go to Swamp here, and if Bombos is in Swamp Palace, CJ's in a pretty tough spot, I think, at this point.
I mean, either way, like Zephyr does Swamp Palace into Pyramid Fairy, I think is the play.
Yeah, and then Graveyard Ledge King's Tomb after that. Potentially, or, Mire. Because I think that would be all that Zephyr has left. Smith Chain. Zephyr does have Smith Chain, but that could be something that would be put off.
Yeah, the only unfortunate part here for Zephyr is just this is the double dip now. But Zephyr definitely in decent shape here. I think if you're hoping for Cabookey at this point, and CJ, I think you're almost saying King's Tomb or Graveyard Ledge. Oddly enough. Those are kind of the last locations.
Those are the only two places I think that Zephyr might put off.
And it's not Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, and if depending on how CJ, decides to do this, because it's just Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb, and Catfish for him now, I think. And depending on how he decides to do it, if he finds bombos in King's Tomb or Graveyard Ledge, he could very well just decide to skip out on going to Catfish.
Well, that's the thing. Like, hopefully he starts from the pyramid. Like, please, flute to 4. And he's fluting to 3.
Yep.
So King's Tomb and Catfish, or King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge are first. If Bombos is there, this is not a great situation. But Zephyr in the back of Swamp now. Nothing in Diver down. We've got 2 checks left. And down to Argus. So Argus and Pyramid Fairy. And there's Bombos at Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, so we'll see how CJ handles this.
This might be
I would.
This could be best case scenario for CJ. Completely honest.
Yes, I mean, not the fact
I don't
that
know what sends Zephyr to Graveyard Ledge. Like, I can see. Oh my God! Everything is telling CJ go to Catfish.
Yeah, but he left the portal up there. He committed to not doing it. Yeah, no, he's not. He is going to turn that mushroom, and then he's going to. He's not even going to turn the mushroom. He's going to TR.
Okay, so this is going to be Pyramid Fairy for Zephyr. If Zephyr goes from here to Graveyard Ledge, I have to say the race is pretty well in Zephyr's control. If Zephyr goes to Mire, goes back up the mountain, just something away from Graveyard Ledge, then CJ's got a decent chance still.
Yeah, we'll see. Doing Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb after Pyramid Fairy is actually a pretty good time to do it.
Yeah.
It's not that far.
It has that mirror out. This is telling me Zephyr's bailing. Yep, there's the bail. Where to, Zephyr? Oh! Are we gonna get a Smith into Graveyard? Oh, this is the Ped check. Okay.
Perhaps Ped before Mire, I guess?
Yeah, knowing if you have to kill Vidi. Please tell me Zephyr knows the meaning behind the many explosions. Because I felt bad for CJ, and now I don't want to have to feel bad twice for the same thing.
Yeah.
Definitely had a big read on that one. There's the flute, which is not a surprise.
Going somewhere.
To? Mire's not the surprise, okay? To anybody who's like, oh no, this could mean the same thing. I think Zephyr is at least, like, this is the dense play. The density play for Zephyr.
Yeah, and I think the reason why you go and check the pet there is because you know you're going to go to Mire anyway, right? Like, because that will tell you, do I need to finish this? Or if there's no item on Biddy, do I, can I just bail and not have to worry about killing Biddy?
Unfortunately, Zephyr going with the wrong medallion there first try. But there we go.
Yeah, so this is just going to come down to how quickly can Zephyr get to Graveyard Ledge, because going to find those 2 items here, doesn't need to kill Viddy, so we'll be able to leave. But we'll have to make a choice between, do I go to Graveyard Ledge King's Tomb, or do I do the Smith's Chain items once Zephyr's done with this Meyer check here?
Yeah, and I'm just reading some of the chat, and I'm seeing a lot of other runners I am very much familiar with. Seeing a lot of people say they probably would have fallen for this ped.
Yeah, no, when I said that
it's one of those things, this is one of those things that you sometimes see the text. If you've seen these texts before, then you kind of get an idea. This is me. When I said Ring of Fire, this is because I've seen bombos on ped before, or bombos are on a tablet. So that's knowledge that I'm used to, and definitely something that if you're not as used to, I can see the fall. It's just really unfortunate for both of our runners.
Yeah, you don't see too many, of those messages each time you play a seed. You may see 2 or 3 at the most. And you can go a while without seeing some items. I don't know if I've ever actually seen the hammer one in a seed that I played, and I've played quite a few seeds at this point. Not as much as some, but 2 years worth of seeds is a lot.
Well, and that's some of those are very obvious. It's why some people believe that ped text should be plain text.
And they are, for the most part, I think fairly obvious if you're familiar with the game, but I think that, they're not, like we saw today, they're not always 100% just obvious to everyone.
For CJ at this point, though, he beats TR, and his only play is to go to Catfish Zora. Maybe turn in the mushroom.
He does well. So he did find the shovel here in TR as well. So he has he's gotten a couple of little fetch quests, but yeah, there's very little left other than getting to Catfish. Once he gets done with this TR.
And there's the big key for Zephyr. And I think Zephyr got both items. Yeah, I think both of our runners have been caught by the trap of this seed.
Wow. For both of them, it's just incredibly unfortunate. I don't know what else to say. It's just close enough where you're okay, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not 100% sure if this is bombos or bombs, or and I have to go for it if I'm not sure.
But this is going to be crystal number 6 for CJ, so we're tied back up on the crystal front. But CJ's down to so little. As we said, he's got shovel, mushroom, Zora, and Catfish.
Right, and depending on how you do it, Zora, Catfish, and Mushroom can all be done on the same trip. You might decide to just flute to 2 and see if it's Mushroom, and you can skip the whole Catfish thing. The shovel that he has, that's pretty much out there on an island by itself. Not terrible to get to from Link's house, but so we'll see.
First up, shovel.
Can't really say anything about it. I mean,
it's the quickest check.
It's the quickest check. It's not like any one of them is particularly better than any of the others, really. I don't think it doesn't. I don't know if there's a right decision. It's just the right decision is where the item is, obviously. But I mean, that's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, we have too much knowledge.
Yeah, and yeah, CJ is going to flute over the 2 and do this mushroom. And again, I don't hate it.
I mean, I hate the fact that he walked into the witch's hut without leaving the screen, but
sure. I mean, that's obviously that was just a waste of time. But I've done it too.
And here we go. It looks like we're getting the incoming ped pull for Zephyr.
Yes.
Does CJ realize that it's Catfish now? Flute to 3. What are you doing, CJ?
Did he leave something over here? I don't
think he did. Is this going to be... Like, the current jump seems worthless to him at this point. Is he thinking he missed an item in Skull? No. Why are we kern jumping for Catfish?
I fairly certain that just fluting the 4 and doing it that way is faster, or even fluting the 5 going it that way. I'm not sure that this is faster.
Yeah, he's kern jumping.
Did he forget he has flippers? What he's looking for is flippers? The whole reason we need to go to Catfish is the flippers? Sorry, I'm ragging on him because he's my teammate.
Yeah, no, this is with so much love. Realize CJ and Zephyr are friends. This is not any comment on them. This is us being their friends and going, guys, peeps.
Please.
Zephyr making the play up to Hookshot Cave. I don't disagree at this point. You got 3 items in there. That's probably your densest play.
Yeah, and you know, if the bombos is there, you get the bombos there in Hookshot Cave, and you can go right to CR. It's like, this is where I want it to be, I think, if you're Zephyr.
And here we go. This is go mode for CJ.
All right. Yep. The old 136-21 go mode for CJ at the get the flippers and go ahead and go mode Swamp Palace.
Okay, I thought that was going to be Hookshot Cave because I didn't think Zephyr did it. Where is Zephyr off to is the question. Looks like we're going to get Hobo.
I didn't realize that Zephyr didn't do this.
This is going to be a quick dungeon for CJ. Like, even without the silvers, I think CJ has a substantial advantage here. Like, Zephyr's going to need to get bombos almost immediately for this to still be...
So, did Zephyr just think that it was bombos and go up there? Is that what happened?
Maybe? Did Zephyr not see what was pulled?
I mean, I guess if you think it's bombos, you might pull the head and like look away while the animation's playing. If that's the case, that's even more unfortunate. I mean, that's really just... I hate to see things like that.
Yeah. But this looks like it's the play to graveyard ledge for Zephyr. This is going to be go mode very shortly. Just has to climb the mountain for TR and, you know, take down 7th crystal. So
yeah, I think
Zephyr's got a chance.
It's
though.
still it's still close, I think, because CJ has to finish up with Swamp Palace, which is go mode, but in go mode Swamp Palace you still have to run through the whole thing, and you know, Zephyr's going to go up, and then he has to go up in the mountain to get to Ganon's Tower, while Zephyr is going to be able to go right to TR and then be right there on the mountain to go to Ganon's Tower. So, you know, even if CJ has a bit of a lead, it's not that large, and you know, this isn't over at all.
But yeah, go mode for Zephyr, so both runners now on to their 7th crystals.
And as Chad's pointing out, the one thing that CJ did not do was Zora and get the silvers. So Zephyr has that advantage on CJ going into the Ganon fight. It's, you know, it's not a huge one with the gold sword, but it does exist.
Yeah, like realistically, both runners should be able to hit the 1-in-1s for Ganon on phase 1 and 2, but the phase 4 silvers are a benefit. And pending how good CJ's silverless Ganon is right now, like, could be anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds easily.
Yeah. Yeah, so CJ needs to drop into Ganon, you know, well before Zephyr does at the very end of the season.
But realistically, CJ is gonna get crystal number 7 before Zephyr is in, or right as Zephyr enters Turtle Rock. So that's still gonna be a decent lead. And yeah, here we go. CJ with crystal number 7 means we're heading up to Ganon's Tower, and we're searching for a big key, folks. 1 to 22, get those numbers in chat. Take your guesses. And I do believe Drosy also has dropped a prediction. So if you're feeling spicy, you got something to play for. What's your points?
Oh yeah, there's no better feeling than gambling all of your speed gaming points here and winning big time. But there's no worse feeling than losing.
Yeah, folks, if you missed this race, you might be saying, wow, this has been quite the set of stuff. Yeah, we've had an Oops All Dungeons. We were required to do AGA with our mitts on the Lumberjack ledge, but both runners unfortunately getting baited by the pedestal text about I make many explosions, and that is not the bombos medallion. That is just the 10 bomb, and both runners pulled Ped thinking it was bombos tonight, so no advantage or time loss incurred as a result, but both of them probably not feeling too happy with that pull.
No, and right as we enter GT, I want to quickly shout out our tracker, Iker, for pushing all the buttons and sticking around for this whole thing.
Yeah, welcome to 2 a.m. on the East Coast, folks. Just about. And surprisingly, we're only at 12 hearts. For as much as we've done, how are we only at 12 hearts?
Are they just all here in Ganon's Tower? Is that... Is this one of those GTs where we end up like coming in with 12 and leaving with like 16?
Well, there we go. There's one heart container. Yeah, as I say that, we're hitting 2 a.m. on the East Coast, I will say some of our European side folks might start to be waking up and tuning in to say, what's a race doing on at this hour?
It's not very common, this time slot, I want to say. This is getting kind of late even for those of us on the US West Coast. I mean, 11 o'clock, not like super late, but it's late to be playing this video game.
Yep. Still nothing so far in GT, as Zephyr is just about to Trinex. A very scary TR here, down to 3.5 hearts, but should be okay at this point.
Yeah, I think Zephyr still has a Farrier too, so I wouldn't be super worried about this fight.
Yeah, this is going to be 10 through 13 on CJ's side, nothing up through Rando Room. So that's 13 checks so far for CJ. And down goes Trinex. I mean, we're running out of checks here. If you're feeling behind, you know what a real spicy play is here? Do you just go with the Hail Mary strat?
I mean, I guess some people would. I probably wouldn't still, but some people might.
And if you've never heard of the Hail Mary strat, it is that you feel you're behind, so you do tile room first. It is completely absurd. It is completely hilarious, but I've seen it happen.
I mean, the problem for me is that I always feel behind going into GT, no matter what happens, pretty much. So I would, if I did that, I would be always doing it. So that's why I don't do it.
CJ able to hold on to 11 arrows, so he's going to have enough for the climb on his end. There's the mirror shield. And it is not behind the Ice Armos fight, so we are up through, what, 17 checks?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the compass room and that tile room.
If this is in DM room and Zephyr pulls a DM route or some kind of magician route, we've got a race, folks.
Yeah, I was going to say if Zephyr, went to do DM's Stalfo's room first and then mirrored and did the right side, Zephyr would be right there on CJ's tail. The fact that Zephyr went to the Hope room first and then went left here and then killed all these Stalfos is telling me that Zephyr's also doing the same thing CJ did.
Yep. But there it is, number 20 for the GT Big Key, folks. In terms of guesses tonight, I don't see a 20. Oh wait, Brewers fan JP. Congratulations, JP.
Yeah, always nice to see a winner. And congratulations to anyone who picked Compass Room in the little poll there.
Yeah, I'm sure both of our runners not happy with the ped stuff tonight. Luckily, I'd say it doesn't affect the outcome on this one. Like, the fact that they both did it kind of evens it out. I'm sure that is not a good consolation message, but this has been some kind of seed for sure.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be seeing that when I signed up for this. that's for sure. And this would be you know, if I'm either of the runners right now and I've done that, I'm feeling very bad while I'm doing this GT. Not feeling good about things at all.
So CJ into the Wizrobes 2 now, as Zephyr is going over to the right side for DM room. Or compass room, sorry. There's the big key for Zephyr. Zephyr will start the climb here, as CJ's about to go to the second Moldover fight. Yeah, and CJ entered GT with 12 hearts. He's found 4 hearts in this dungeon. So, yeah, there was a lot of health here in GT. And how did he escape without getting knocked down?
That I don't. That sure. That little guardrail there really saved him, I guess, because the Moldarm was kind of trapping him there in that corner, and he just refused to go down.
Yeah, if folks are tuning in and wondering, you know, what kind of Kaz boot seed this was, talk about some great, terrible locations. There were many of them. This was a required Aga seed for the Titan's Mitts on Lumberjack Ledge, with a Cane of Samaria in the Hera basement. So, plus bombos on Graveyard Ledge. So a lot of your greatest hits, folks.
Yeah, Catfish and Graveyard Ledge, 2 of my personal least favorite locations, both required.
Yeah. Just add something in Spike Cave and we got it really going. But here we go, CJ about to drop in on his Ganon fight. Zephyr into Landmo 2.
Gold Sword makes the first couple phases relatively easy. Without silvers, the last phase is 12 spins, the same as Tempered, but shouldn't have too much trouble with it.
Nope. And we are through phase 2, so on to phase 3. Honestly, I gotta think both of them are kind of surprised that their opponent hasn't done yet. Both of them are like, where is it? It's gotta be coming. Like, I full cleared the seed when I didn't have to. This is a nerve moment for both of them, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, the Helmasaur had an item, so killing Helmasaur, not something that would absolutely always be skipped, but we know the Vidi didn't have an item, so if you know that pedestal hint, and you just know that what that means, then you're just not going to kill Vitreous in the seed.
DJ working nice and meticulously. Oh, that fire bat, really scary.
Able to adjust and get that knockback into the torch there, which the torch nicely preventing him from leaping off.
Not too many spins left here as Zephyr, and that's it. CJ has his 12th spin there to finish off Ganon, and this should secure game 1 for the Cabookey Hundos team. As Zephyr is into Aga 2. And yep, there we go. CJ crossing the bridge first, finishing with a 154.54. Get your GGs in chat for CJ.
Yep, and Zephyr won't be far behind here.
As we are now joined by CJ. GG.
Oh, thank you. What?
Yeah, no, I figured, that was going to be the reaction
So,
there.
Perhaps the hints should not be so confusing.
Yeah, I was reading the race time GG and definitely saw some thoughts from both of you on hating that hint. So
Yeah, I'll try
understandable.
to keep it nice on stream, but I go boom many times. Sounds like bombos. So
Yep.
I have not sat down and memorized the meme item names on pedestals and stuff. So maybe they can be memes, but maybe make them not sound like each other.
Yeah, I believe for future reference, Bombos, I believe, is Ring of Fire.
Yeah. You know what else Bombos does, though? It goes boom many times. So it doesn't matter that the actual hint is Ring of Fire, because when I read boom many times, I don't think of 10 bombs. Anyways, it was a good race. I mean, I couldn't believe... It got to a certain point where it was like... I think it was like the hour 48-minute mark that I thought, okay, he either had to skip Kane in Hera Basement or also do what I did.
Right. And with that, Zephyr finishing with a 157.18. Get your GGs in chat for Zephyr. But yeah, that was... As we are now joined by Zephyr. GG.
GG.
I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, because pulling the ped... I got to the point where I was like in Mire and I was like, I wonder if this hint is for 10 bombs. But then I was like, no, they would have said something about 10.
Yeah,
so
I make things
fine.
go boom 10 times. That would be a hint that might be 10
yeah,
bombs.
so...
I was so convinced it was Bombos. I was up on TR and I was like quick swapping, and I'm like, where's my Bombos? I got it off the ped. I picked it up off the ped. Where is it? So
Yeah.
Which what was our finish time difference? Okay, no, it was more time than that. It was more than a 2-minute mountain climb. But
I do want to ask Zephyr, had you done Hookshot Cave?
had I finished Hookshot Cave? No.
So that's the thing. When you were going up the mountain, we thought, oh, Zephyr's going for Hookshot Cave. This makes perfect sense. And then
no.
you go on to top of TR, and we're like, what happened? Because you didn't go into Hookshot Cave. And then we realized you thought you had bombos because you did the ped.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. Made perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
the seed was going great. I was like 4 items from go mode forever. And then I was like, oh, cool, that makes sense. I'm so far from go mode because PED has my progression and it's all in TR. And then I got to TR and it had nothing, which was great. I mean, I loved that. Yeah, and then finally, pretty much last located my flippers and then found out through the Ganon hint that that's where silvers had to be as well. So that was fun to find out.
Yeah, we thought
overall,
there was about a half dozen times we thought you were going to go to Catfish Zora, and it just didn't happen. And we were kind of like, ooh, this is
You didn't cack skip, did you, CJ? Because that would have been really punished.
I only cack skipped till 9 minutes. Don't worry.
Yeah, you got punished by like a minute and a half of routing. Yeah. Because
Not
everything
really.
was in cack to like start the seed.
Yeah, but I got flute, and the only thing I did was Ice Rod Cave and Waterfall Fairy Cave and Hobo, so it wasn't like I lost a ton of time.
Well, you would have had Zora money, and you would have gotten Zora on that first trip.
Well, I
up
was
there.
close. I was only 10 rupees short, and I thought about trying to kill some things for Zora money, but then I was like, whatever. I'll come back later.
So the
And then I
good news
didn't.
is, in a year, a higher profile match will have this exact same problem, and then they'll change the hint text on for bombos on PED.
I will say
Yeah.
we definitely had a good smattering of runners. Some experienced saying, I can't believe you two pulled PED, and some saying the opposite, saying, I would have believed it to be PED as well. So definitely some major divide on this one. Could start a discussion in the community over Pedestal text. So
Yeah, I
you know.
mean, I've been playing for, what, like 4 years now? And
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. I would like to play the game, not do homework and learn all the memes.
Yeah, I don't know why you haven't memorized that list of item descriptions.
Have
there.
you? I mean, I know that this is a restream and many people probably don't know me, but Maddie, you're on my team. You know me. I don't care. I don't practice.
I told everyone you don't practice. So
I just play rando, and I have a small brain, and when I read something that says I go boom many times, I think, oh, that's bombos. Bombos goes boom many times.
I'm looking for bombos. Like bombos opens up TR. That's part of my go. Okay. Yes, exactly.
Even if you get 10 bombs, it doesn't go boom many times. The most it can go boom is 2. Because you can only place 2 bombs. So my thought was, you can't have boom many times be 10 bombs, because that doesn't make sense. It has to be bombos. And then it wasn't. And then I was real salty. And then I don't know if you guys caught it, but I feel like I giga-brained on Ganon. Where the bat was coming right for me and I had no escape, and I know that if you walk in a direction, the bat hits you in the opposite direction, so I walked back right into the bat so that it would hit me left into the torch. I was really proud of myself for that.
I wasn't sure if that was intentional or not.
Yeah, I saw the bat coming and I was like, okay, and I just walked right into it so that it would hit me left. Mild panic.
Flashed before your eyes.
Yeah, and then I realized after I had the cape, so I don't even know what I was doing. But
I do want to ask about one other play that was definitely a little surprising. CJ's Cax delay is pretty normal, I think, for him at least. Zephyr, I want to ask about the swamp play.
I was just really hoping it was a super fast go mode. I consider CJ to be the stronger runner. And I figured I needed the win on the gamble, so I said, you know what? Let's hope that hook shot is in here. And I didn't know the TR access was bombo, so I was hoping it was just ether. I think was the one we had. Yeah, and so I wanted so bad to just find the jet because that's how I thought I was going to win. It turns out all I had to do was homework.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's almost like if you know everything about the game, you play better. But come on now. Like, I remember it was like 2-3 years ago, I lost a race because the hint was boing boing boing, and I was like, no idea what that is. And I last located hookshot. So, I mean, it's not my first time with hints getting me and me not knowing what they are. And in 2 years, I probably still won't know what they are because I don't want to learn them. I'll remember this one.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much. This one I will remember.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a tradition of mine every tournament I enter to spectacularly throw a cash boot seed. So there you
me
go.
too.
This is your
I was gonna
gimme.
say this was the clash of the throws, because I think I'd heard the same thing from CJ leading up to this race.
Yeah. No, I'm terrible in League Kaz boots. I think I maybe have won once, and I've gone and I've done it. I think I'm like 1-3 or something. It's like I'm pretty much close to undefeated in almost every other race I've done. It's just Kaz boots that I can't do for some
And
reason.
yet you insist on being your team's Kazboot player.
I didn't make that decision. We're gonna blame Garrison for that.
Okay.
He wanted to play cross keys, and Maddie, I guess, wanted to play the crazy modes, but
No comment.
All right, I felt so terrible that I said I started going into pod because I'm like, oh, let's go in here, let's clear the crystal, maybe Mir's in here, and then I looked at my tracker, I'm like, oh, it's a pendant, and I like save quit out and Mir and fluted back over to Eastern, and I opened up that hook shot in, I think it was in the Rupee basement, and that was the point where I said like, yeah, I know, Pendant Pod, there's always something in Pendant Pod, and I ignored it, and I ended up clearing that dungeon anyway, and felt so good that I had done it to go to, you know, Ped, because I was clearing all the pendant dungeons just in case it was a Ped seed. When did you check Ped, CJ?
So early on, I fluted to 5 and checked pod, and then I saw it was a pendant, so I ran over and did south route instead. So I ran from flute 5 down to the south route of Dark World to Hype Cave and stuff like that. After I got my mitts, I went to Meyer area. I'm trying to remember what exactly it was, but I think I did Smith Chain, and then after Smith Chain, I was like, I'm gonna do Desert first because it has green pendant. And so then I did Desert, and then I went to Pod after Desert, hoping that the green pendant was something. And then I did all of Pod except for the boss, mirrored, went back, fluted, and checked the Ped, because I was like, I'm not going to kill Helmasaur if I don't have to. And then it was like, it goes booms many times. And I was like, perfect, that's Bombos, that's TR Axis, let's go do it. And so then I rushed Pod and Meyer, and pulled Ped, and got 10 bombs.
How do Zephyr and CJ turn this into a 2-hour seed?
I mean, we didn't.
We misread.
We were done in under 2 hours. It
Under
was,
2 hours, that's true.
Yeah. Thank goodness for boots, because, like, and to be fair, this is a seed, just so everyone knows, that had boots and flute early on. You're talking about a seed that should be like a 124, 125, and we both somehow managed to stretch it out by another 30 minutes. So,
I mean, I will say it's possible that even higher level runners, quote unquote, get tripped up by Kane or Bombos or Flippers.
I got them all. I did so well. I just didn't read Ped right, and like that cost me.
I didn't read Ped right. I also didn't go to Catfish forever, so I found Flippers super late.
Oh, you got to listen to a marathon, that one. Just go to Catfish.
You know, there was one point when I saved and quit and ended up on top of the pyramid that in hindsight I probably should have done it then. Because I was in the Dark World. I think it was after Spike Cave or something like that. And I saved and quit, and I was on top of the pyramid. And that's just when I should have done it. I had Mirror at that point, so, and the money. But oh well, what can you do? I guess study. That's what you can do. But
Agreed.
I mean, it was a seed that made me salty, that's for sure. I was tilting near the end.
Right.
Almost fell to Moldorm 2. He locked me in a corner and beat me up pretty good, but didn't fall, so that was good at least. But yeah, this is my public cry for help. Anybody who wants to help with the hints, please.
This is
Please
my
help us.
announcement. Unless you guys sweep us, Game 4 is gonna be me, and it's gonna be Randomizer. So don't sweep us. I wanna race someone Randomizer. One of you has to lose. Maddie, are you tomorrow or Tuesday?
I'm Tuesday. I don't really want to lose, but
Yeah. Well, wait, you're against Hitman?
no. Garrison's playing Hitman tomorrow, and then I'm playing.
Okay.
I'm playing
He'll
Red
lose.
Coon.
Don't worry.
Wow.
Wow.
All
This
right.
is-
Well,
Oh, the rivalry. No,
So,
I if I'm playing again, it's co-op veterans, and it's the holidays, so let's just not. Let's just finish this in 4.
All right. Well, thank
Yeah,
you
now
so
that
much, Jesse.
now that I've gotten that
for
off my
2 of my
chest, if you
races in a
guys-
row.
Yes, sorry for interrupting.
It's the internet. We interrupted each other simultaneously.
That is fair. I just want to say, now that I got that off my chest, thank you for letting us vent about the Steed. I think we both needed a little bit of therapy or therapeutic release after playing it, so
Agreed.
thank you.
kind of thought that's what you would talk about here in this.
Thank you to both of you for scheduling this race for this time and letting this restream happen. I will point out, in terms of races coming up on this Monday, or into a Monday for many people, 3:10 Eastern Time over on SpeedGaming, we've got Game 4 between Last Locationeers and Tile Roomies. Hard MC Shuffle, Structural Mike versus Jay Meisher. Tile Roomies are up 2-1 in that series, so looking to close out the Last Locationeers. Then at 6:10 p.m. Eastern Time, we got WJPDTB versus Bottles on Empty. Open Hard MC Shuffle in the name of DT versus Ninjembro. In that series, WJPDTB is up 2-1, looking to knock out Bottles. So 2 really good matches on the Invitational League schedule. If Bottles wins that match at 6:10 p.m., there is a Game 5 scheduled for Monday night at 10:10 p.m. between those 2 teams. JP and Willard would be against Maniacal and Maximum Barnage in co-op veterans. So we could see a Game 5 of the Invitational League tomorrow night. In terms of Open League, while we do not have the races necessarily all set up for restreams yet, there is quite a full slate, or there's a slate of races tomorrow on the Open League as round 2 officially kicks off today. 4:10, we've got Amish Paradise and Taunt the Frog in Ambrosia, Dapper Wormman versus Aridin. 6:10 p.m., Hitman versus W Garrison. So game 2 of this series, that'll be the Pseudo Boots Cross Keys matchup. That's once again 6:10 p.m. And then finally 10:10 p.m. tomorrow night, Crystal Roller Crew versus Farm Friends, Hard Randomizer, IB Karma versus Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. So we'll see if those get onto the restream schedule for tomorrow. But some great playoff races across the league. Once again, please give a follow to both of our runners for putting on such a great show tonight. And Maddie, it's been a pleasure, and thanks again, Ike here. Maddie, you want to close us out?
Sure. Yep. Thanks to the runners, both CJ and Zephyr, for doing this and doing a lot of it for us. And thanks Jesse for calming with me. This was a fun one. And thanks everyone for watching. We will go ahead and close out for the night. Have a great one, and we'll see you later.